All right. The news says the Court of Appeal has invalidated the judicial recognition previously granted to the People's Democratic Party PDP Caretaker Committee and affirmed the suspension of party officials, a ruling that could reshape the leadership structure of the opposition party. Who are the people involved in this court ruling? The Court of Appeal, Appellate Court, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the PDP Caretaker Committee, now invalidated, the Interim National Working Committee, led by Kabiru Tanimu Turaki San, Comrade Ini Eme Mobon, National Publicity Secretary of INWC, A.K. Ajibade and Sam Anyanwu, whose suspensions were affirmed, the Federal High Court in Ibadan, whose earlier decision was nullified, and the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Where did this happen? The Court of Appeal delivered the ruling. The earlier Federal High Court decision was in Ibadan. The ruling has national implications for the PDP across all 36 states and the FCT. What did the Court of Appeal rule? The court ruled that there were no longer any live issue in the appeal because the substantive matter related to the party's national convention had already been nullified by the Supreme Court. This aspect of the earlier judgment that recognizes the caretaker committee was not an issue before the court and should not have been included. The court also affirmed the suspension of A.K. Ajibade and Sam Anyanwu. Now, let's go to the 7 things you must know about this court ruling. Number 1, the Court of Appeal said the recognition of the caretaker committee was not even an issue before the court. This is a devastating procedural finding. The lower court, Federal High Court in Ibadan, included something in its judgment that was not requested by any party. That is called acting beyond jurisdiction. The appeal court effectively said you cannot grant what nobody asked for. That is a basic legal principle. The Ibadan court violated it. 2, the Supreme Court had already nullified the main issue, so the appeal court said no live issue remained. The original substantive matter related to the PDP National Convention, the Supreme Court had already nullified that. So when the case came to the appeal court, there was nothing left to decide. The lower court's recognition of the caretaker committee was therefore a ruling on a dead matter. It had no legal basis. Number 3, the court affirmed the suspension of A.K. Ajibade, Sam Anyanwu, and others. This is not just about committees. Individual party officials have been suspended. The appeal court upheld those suspensions. That means these officials cannot act on behalf of the PDP. If they attempt to do so, they do so without authority. This weakens the caretaker committee because some of its members may be among those suspended. Number 4, INEC had been recognizing the caretaker committee based on the now nullified Federal High Court decision. INEC's position was, we are not a political party. We follow court orders. The Federal High Court said, recognize the caretaker committee. INEC complied. Now that the appeal court has nullified that decision, INEC must reconsider. The INWC is demanding that INEC withdraw recognition from the caretaker committee and recognize them instead. Number 5, the INWC is led by Kabiru Tanimu Turaki San, a senior advocate of Nigeria. This is not an unknown faction. Turaki is a respected legal figure. He has been a minister and a presidential aspirant. His leadership gives the INWC legal and political credibility. The caretaker committee cannot dismiss him as an outsider. He is a heavyweight. You can continue reading on akainews.org. Now, what is my advice based on this report? Number one, to the PDP caretaker committee, if you plan to appeal, do so quickly. The longer you wait, the more the INWC consolidates its claim. But also consider, is this fight worth it? A divided PDP benefits no one except the APC. Exploit internal reconciliation. A negotiated settlement is better than a legal war. Number two, to the INWC led by Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, do not glut. Court victories can be overturned. Reach out to the caretaker committee. Offer a unity framework. The goal should be a single functional PDP, not a factional victory. Your legal win is an opportunity to heal the party. Do not waste it. Number three, to INEC, act carefully. Do not rush to recognize the INWC based on this ruling alone. Wait to see if the caretaker committee appeals. If an appeal is filed, wait for the Supreme Court. If no appeal is filed within a reasonable time, then recognize the INWC. Also, publish clear guidelines on how parties should resolve leadership disputes. Give the public clarity. Number four, to PDP members and supporters, do not despair. The party has survived crisis before. Stay focused on the issues that matter: economy, security, jobs, education. Do not let leadership fights distract you from why you joined the PDP in the first place. Your commitment to the party's ideals is more important than who sits in the National Secretariat. Number five, to the National Assembly, consider legislation that mandates faster resolution of party leadership disputes. A law requiring parties to resolve internal disputes within 60 days with arbitration before court action could prevent cases like this from dragging on for years. The courts are not the best place to run political parties. Number six, to the media, report this story carefully. Do not take sides. Present both factions' claims. Explain the legal technicalities. Your role is to inform the public, not to inflame the crisis. Accuracy and balance are essential. One wrong headline could incite violence among party loyalists. Number seven, to legal practitioners. This case is a textbook example of courts overstepping their bounds. The Federal High Court granted relief that was not requested. That is judicial activism of the worst kind. The legal community should study this case and issue guidelines to judges. Do not grant what was not prayed for. Stick to the issues before you. The rhetorical question for you: if the Court of Appeal has to tell a lower court that it granted a relief nobody asked for, recognizing a caretaker committee that was not even part of the case before the court, what does that say about the quality of judgment coming from some of Nigeria's federal high courts? It says that some judges are writing judgment that parties did not request. It says that procedural discipline is weak. It says that political parties can shop for favorable judges who will give them orders they never asked for. And it says that the Court of Appeal must spend valuable time correcting basic errors that should never have been made. That is not justice. That is judicial inefficiency. Akai News reports that the Court of Appeal has pulled the rug from under the PDP Caretaker Committee. The recognition they relied on has been nullified. The suspension they may have ignored have been affirmed. The INWC is now demanding that INEC recognize them. The Caretaker Committee may appeal, and the PDP, already weakened by years of internal crisis, is once again fighting itself instead of fighting the APC. The real losers are not the factional leaders. The real losers are Nigerians who need a strong opposition to hold the government accountable. Why PDP leaders fight in court? Bandits kidnap children, fuel prices rise, and the naira falls. That is the true cost of political selfishness. Thank you for joining me on this segment. I am Joseph Yaji, and this platform is Akahi News.